The very latest on the Ange Postecoglou situation, the Telegraph have stated it could cost Spurs up to £10 million if they sack Postecoglou. The Sun newspaper have stated it is more likely that he is sacked by Daniel Levy than Spurs keeping him on for Season 3. Christian Romero has just been named one of the captains of Argentina. Reports are stating that Spurs are open to keeping Manor Solomon for pre-season. And Ben Davies has come out and said that Brennan Johnson has proved a lot of people wrong, and he has also said there is no update on his club situation as he is out of contract on the 30th of June. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another episode of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, let's start with a report from the Daily Telegraph. They are stating that Spurs chairman Daniel Levy will face a compensation bill in the region of £4 million if he does decide to sack Europa League winning head coach Ange Postecoglou. And that would be on top of the £2 million bonus that Postecoglou earned for ending Tottenham's trophy drought and guiding Spurs into next season's Champions League. Postecoglou still has 2 years remaining on his Tottenham contract, and it is understood the terms of his exit before that date were agreed prior to his appointment 2 years ago. It is understood that Ange Postecoglou now has returned to England from holiday and will soon be provided with clarity over his future. The Daily Telegraph have then gone on to say that Postecoglou had been heading towards the Spurs exit regardless of whether his team won the Europa League. Tottenham's victory over Manchester United in the final and the resulting celebrations put Daniel Levy under huge pressure and left him with one of the toughest decisions of his long reign. The Telegraph then go on to say that the price of replacing Ange Postecoglou, should he decide to do so, could cost well over £10 million in total, given that appointing his successor could also land Daniel Levy with a compensation bill. Brentford's Thomas Frank is among the leading candidates to replace Postecoglou, along with Fulham's Marco Silva. The Telegraph will also go on to say that Tottenham are facing the biggest shake-up of the ENIC era, with Levy's right-hand woman Donna Cowlin and first-team coach Ryan Mason already confirming their exits. It is anticipated that those departures will be two of many, with Postecoglou waiting to hear if he will be sacked. Chief Football Officer Scott Munn's future in doubt, and questions arising over Matthew Collicott's role as Operations and Finance Director. Vinay Venkatesham started work as Chief Executive Officer this week and has already advertised for a business operations lead to work under him. Sources believe the shake-up, which is expected to be far-reaching, could be in the prelude to fresh funds being pumped into the club by ENIC, who are keen to remain in control of Tottenham, or in the form of outside investment. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Johnny Cardoso will not be joining Tottenham Hotspur Football Club this summer. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Atletico Madrid have now reached an agreement with Cardoso on personal terms and advancing in talks to get the deal done with Real Betis. Package deal worth around €30 million with bonuses and also potential players as part of the agreement now being discussed. Tottenham Hotspur defender Christian Romero has just been named one of the captains for his national side, Argentina. The Sun newspaper have just stated it is more likely that Ange Postecoglou will be fired by Daniel Levy. It's more likely than them keeping him on for a third season. And the Sun newspaper have also reported about Manor Solomon, who was on loan at Leeds for the 2024-2025 campaign. They have stated that Tottenham are open to keeping Manor Solomon and are using him as part of the squad for the upcoming pre-season rather than selling him during this transfer window. Spurs defender Ben Davies has been talking about Spurs and Wales teammate Brennan Johnson. He said Brennan's shown this year that he is a top player and proven a lot of people wrong. We've got full confidence in him in this Wales squad that he can replicate his form from his club here. He works hard, he trains hard. We love having him around this place, and I feel that we have got the best Brennan we can at the moment. Ben Davies has also confirmed that there is no update on his future at Spurs, with his current contract expiring at the end of June 2025. He said, no update. It was obviously a great feeling to win at the Europa League. It's always a huge honour to win anything, but it's a tournament I played a lot of games in, and it was really nice to get over the line. We had a couple of days celebrating before we had the other game against Brighton, but that's football. You just keep going on that merry-go-round. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and I'm going to start by talking about Christian Romero. Many congratulations to him. That is a big, big honour, being named captain of your national side. He is one of 3 captains now for Argentina, and I must say, every single time that Ange Postecoglou gave Christian Romero the captain's armband, he really did show great leadership and quality on the pitch. So many congratulations to him. The Sun have reported about Manor Solomon being back in the Tottenham Hotspur squad for pre-season. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Manor Solomon go out the door. He hasn't really had a chance at Spurs, I would say, but there are so many clubs interested in Solomon. Of course, he had a very, very good loan spell at Leeds, hence why they are in, back in the big time in the Premier League. But I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Manor Solomon go out the door, because I know a number of clubs are interested, and they will be paying a good fee for someone that we got on a free transfer. Now, all of my thoughts on Ange Postecoglou, I actually did a TV interview on Thursday down at Hotspur Way with Michael Bridge of Sky Sports. These are my thoughts on Ange Postecoglou and the current situation.
In 17 years, Ange Postecoglou has been on holiday in Greece, with no news about whether he'll lead them into a 3rd season. Michael Bridge has the latest.
Yes, very good evening. Welcome back to Enfield, Tottenham Hotspur's training ground. We still haven't got a definitive on the future of Ange Postecoglou. Our understanding is that he has arrived back in the UK after his holiday, and Daniel Levy and the directors have returned from their brief spells away as well. Delighted to say Chris Cowlin from the Spurs Chat podcast joins me. Chris, we're here because we don't know yet if Ange Postecoglou gets a season 3. What's your thoughts on it?
I think he definitely deserves a season 3. I know the majority of the Spurs fan base think that as well, because he's delivered us a European trophy, our first one in 41 years, a long-awaited trophy after 17 years, and the feeling over the last couple of weeks has been incredible. And we've had top 4 finishes under multiple different managers, but that feeling of winning the Europa League and that parade, it was just goosebumps. It was incredible. So, in answer to your question, he absolutely deserves that 3rd season, in my opinion.
Yeah, because, look, he has been open about it. He did sort of put the league to one side near the last few weeks. But was he proved right, though, in the end? He was, wasn't he?
Michael, I haven't felt like this for a very long time as a Spurs fan, and to put that trophy in the cabinet, not only do we get Champions League football, we get the trophy. Of course, a lot of people call us Spursy, and we get all that banter about not winning a trophy. He has put all of that to bed, and Daniel Levy looked extremely happy, the day that we won that Europa League trophy. So, it remains to be seen now whether he's going to be happy, whether he's going to put Postecoglou in the dugout for the 3rd season. But in my opinion, he's got to be there.
Why would Daniel Levy and the Tottenham board be thinking of a change? What were their reasons? You go to every game, Chris. So you're the best person in terms of a fan to ask. Why would they be questioning?
Well, I was there for all 22 league defeats, and I know that's all the media keep banging on about, those 22 league defeats. Yes, as a fan, it was very, very hard coming away from either the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or those away games in the Premier League. It was hard to take. But what I would say now is, rather than go through yet another rebuild and another managerial appointment, which we've had so many in recent years, back the man, have a really, really strong transfer window, and give him the depth that we need, because we plan Champions League football, so we virtually need 2 really good lineups, in my opinion. And going through another managerial rebuild, it's just going to be more pain for us, I feel.
And also in terms of potential candidates, would anyone stand out for you at all? There've been a few names.
Well, I know the names that are being thrown around are Thomas Frank and Andoni Iraola and Marco Silva. All really good managers in my opinion. But would they further on this project? It'd be like a reset. It'd be like starting again. And like I said, I feel like whatever happens with this football club, and I do understand, some people being a little bit worried about Ange Postecoglou, because I feel like that conversation does need to take place between the board and Ange in order for him to come out and say, look, we can play a different way. We can do much better in the Premier League. We've had a lot of injuries, and I think that is very, very important to underline that, because the injuries were key. And you saw the stats when we have Vicario and we have all of the back four, the stats are a lot better. Would you be concerned, though, if he did stay? Then, the level has gone up considerably. You got the games on Saturday, Sunday, then the Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday. Would that concern you about the turnaround? Because obviously they struggled with the turnaround last year. We've seen under Ange Postecoglou in both the seasons that he's been here that the type of football that he wants to play. We just need a much bigger and better squad. Last summer it was all about bringing young, talented players in. The likes of Lucas Bergvall has been brilliant for us this season. And now this transfer window, in my opinion, is about experienced players. Bringing players that have been there, done it, got the T-shirt, and hopefully we can go far in that Champions League run and, of course, climb up that Premier League table. But, when I go back to talking about other managers, top four finishes, etc., Ange has put that trophy in the cabinet, which I feel is so important. And if you'd have asked any Spurs fan when Ange was appointed, first season we'll finish fifth, lose Harry Kane as well, nearly got there in the Champions League. But this season, not only have we won a trophy, we're in the Champions League as well. You saying that then, can it get any better for Ange Postecoglou? Could there be a mutual say, look, you've won the trophy, your history here in terms of great history, but maybe it won't get any better than this, Ange. Maybe you go your way, we'll go our way, and you're always welcome back. Is there part of that there, or is that not fair? Michael, what I would say is season 3 could be better than season 2, and I want to feel like this all the time as a fan. Having that trophy parade down the high road was just absolutely incredible. Thousands upon thousands of fans. You ask any of them how they feel, and everyone was on top of the world. But I just think that this could be the start of something special. This could be that this group, like Ange Postecoglou has said whilst on holiday, don't leave it there. We must push on now. It must be trophy after trophy after trophy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, Cowlin there, talking about season 3, wants a season 3 for Ange Postecoglou. Will he get it? We'll wait and see. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.